Well, this week we are meeting the candidates who are running for the September 14 local council election, and next on the list is Amanda Bryan. Amanda, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Now, you're a Grafton local now.
I am, yes.
So tell me where you sort of come from originally.
Yes, so I originally came from down south, a little town called Tarrago, which is near Canberra. Yeah.
Okay, and what sort of brought you to the Clarence Valley?
So we moved up here in around 99, 2000. So my father moved up here for music. So actually, our whole family has always sang country music my whole life.
Wow.
And he came up here because he was looking for a TAFE course at music, and the Grafton TAFE was one of the only TAFEs in the whole of New South Wales that actually offered that course.
So am I sitting with the celebrity today? Do you sing yourself?
No, I do sing, but no, I'm quite shy and reserved when singing on stage, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so why have you decided to run for council in 2024?
So I guess my story is quite personal. And it relates back to when we were living in Sydney during COVID times. So at that time we were kind of, we had a bit of upheaval between working at work, working from home, having the kids' school at home and then go back to school, and it was flip-flopping a bit quite consistently. And then just after that time when it started to settle down, one of my children had some negative experiences at school, and then that kind of led to some decline in mental health and struggles getting to school. So from that experience, I gained a new appreciation for the impact that local government has on the way that we can access the services that we need. And that's kind of my backstory to why I've stepped up. Yeah.
And you've actually got an interesting backstory as far as employment goes too.
Yes.
Tell us about what you do for a job and what you've been doing.
Yes, yeah. So most of my work has been in education. So I used to be a teacher. I used to teach locally at Macaulay for many years before we did a bit of travelling around, and had a lot of involvement on school boards and P&Cs. And then in 2019 I moved to work in state government and in education. And the reason I did that was because when I was in schools, sometimes you want to help the kids in a particular way. They have particular needs, and you want to do the best that you can as a teacher. Sometimes the policies that state government puts in place really impacts your ability to be able to help in the way that you want. So I decided, okay, I want to know and understand where these things come from, how they're made, and then be in some position to be able to influence what happens to try and shape education a bit better for our kids, and that's kind of where I am.
So I guess that's where local government will help as well. If you have a better understanding for local government, you know how the community can respond.
Yes, yeah.
So tell me about some of the issues that you want to sort of stand for this election.
Yeah. So I guess my core value is about connecting and supporting community, and that's kind of what I base myself on. So in terms of what I would like to see, I would like to see more decisions being informed by that perspective and that value space in terms of connecting and supporting community. I'm thinking about things that support a safe, well and healthy community. Even though council kind of doesn't have much involvement in what services come to town specifically, they do have some involvement in the planning, and they can shape the way that our facilities and our spaces look. So I'm really interested in what that looks like from that level in terms of planning for services to be accessible and appropriate and appropriately placed for people to access. I guess the other things that I'm particularly interested in is the local economy. So for me, being able to support people to be well means enabling them to have access to employment opportunities and education opportunities. And I think we're in a good position to be able to encourage council to make decisions that support the economy by bringing in things that we might need in town, or looking at ways to support what we already have, and helping businesses to have initiatives so that they can support local employment and training. And then the third thing that I'm particularly interested in is flood and bushfire mitigation. So I think there's a risk if we don't plan appropriately for the future in terms of what those potential impacts might be in future times. And I would really like to see council work with state government and really put something in place that can protect our community for the future.
Have you been sort of looking at council in the last two years and to see how they're operating? Is that how you've sort of decided to put your hand up saying, well, I can do what they're doing, but I can maybe do it a little bit better?
Yes, in a way. So I guess my core focus has been on looking at what local government does from that big picture level, so the strategic planning side of things. And I've been looking at how that kind of links with state government. So I'm really interested in that link and that enablement that you can have between state and local government. Yeah.
It's a big fish pond, isn't it, so to speak?
Yeah, it is.
And what about working with other councillors? You've seen, obviously, there's been a bit of tension in the current council. Would you be able to cope with the tension if there was tension in a new council?
Yeah, I guess I posted something on Facebook the other day about what I'm hoping to achieve in terms of leadership. And I guess for me, effective civic leadership, which is what a councillor needs to bring, it's all about having vision and encouraging people and inspiring people to participate in community and collaborating and working together. And they're the things that I would be looking to focus on going forward.
Do you think there needs to be better communication with the community, and how could that be achieved, do you think?
So I'm all about education. So that's something that's really important to me. So I definitely think no matter what it is, there's always an opportunity to facilitate communication better in everything that we do. So I would be a champion for education if elected to council. And I would be looking at being really transparent about the decisions that we make and what they look like and what impacts they might have on community, and facilitating to the access to the information that our community wants. So I guess they're telling us, or they're asking for information so that they can understand issues like housing and development, water, rates, all those types of things. So I would champion that.
You obviously have young kids, and obviously they would love the water.
Yeah.
Are you happy that there's a decision that has been finally made about the Regional Aquatic Centre, and are you concerned about the cost to the ratepayers?
So I am happy there's a pool. So I think when we're talking about well and supported communities, it's really important for a region like Grafton to have somewhere that's a water facility where people can go to cool down. So we spent some time in Darwin, and I don't know if you've ever heard of mango madness, but it's a real issue and concern up there, and it leads to, so the heat leads to risk of life. And with the climate changing and things getting hotter and hotter, I think having access to water facility for everybody is really important.
Yeah, definitely. So just finally, why should people vote for Amanda Bryan at the September 14 election?
I guess it's up to them essentially, but if people are looking for someone who's passionate about supporting community and really future focused and looking at the decisions from a strategic level, I think I would be someone who would be able to support that.
Well, best of luck on September 14.
Thank you very much.